Hello, welcome back to Miss Bell's channel. Today we are going to be learning another lesson. We're going to be learning about the Earth's layers. So have a seat, relax, and I hope you learn a lot today. So this is a model of our Earth, and on the Earth there are 4 main layers. And this layer is the crust. That's the layer that we live on. This layer is the mantle, and it's mostly solid rock, but some parts are hotter and more fluid. This is the outer core. The outer core is made of liquid iron and nickel. And then this is the inner core, and it's solid rock made of lead. So first I'm going to talk about the crust and give you some really interesting facts, but pay attention and try to learn as much as you can because you will have a quiz after this. So the crust is where we live at. It's an outer solid layer, and this is where all life exists. There are ocean parts, which I'm going to color blue. And there's also continent parts, which I'm going to color green to represent land. And as you can see, that this is the thinnest layer by a lot. It's not going to be perfect, but just using different colors to represent the different parts of the crust. But this is where animals live. This is where there are mountains. There's the sea. This is where all life exists. So the crust also has something called tectonic plates. And the tectonic plates make mountains, they cause earthquakes, they cause volcanic eruptions. The tectonic plates are what help form the land. So this is the crust. The next layer is the mantle. This is the mantle, and as you can see, it's taking up the majority of the Earth. It is 85% of the Earth's weight. It's made up of semi-solid rocks, but a lot of it is also fluid rocks moving. And the mantle is most of the causing of forming the tectonic plates to move. So it creates, when the mantle moves, it can create mountains. It's when the mantle pushes up, it hardens and creates land. And it also can cause earthquakes and volcanic eruptions. And the rocks on the mantle in this layer, they flow around. It's almost kind of like hot lava flowing around. It's made up of semi-solid rocks moving. This is the mantle. And then The next layer is the core, and there are two parts to the core. There's an outer core and an inner core. And in this part, when the earth formed, all of the heavy materials, they sunk to the middle, which formed the core. So the outer core is here. And the outer core is made of iron and nickel, and it's mostly liquid. And the inner core is super hot lead, but it doesn't melt. It's a solid, and it's almost as hot as the sun. It's very, very hot. There's a lot of pressure built up on the inner core, so it's solid and it's super hot. And it also spins at a different speed than the rest of the earth. Okay, so let's go over all of our layers. What layer is this? Who remembers? Yes. It's not the core, but it does start with a C. Yes. Yes, it is the crust. Let me get something darker. Remembers what this layer is. This big layer. Yes. Yes, it is the mantle. What's this layer? There's two parts. What's this part? It's not the inner core. If it's not the inner core, it must be the... Yes, the outer core. Very good. Which leaves us with the inner core. Okay, so now that we've learned a little bit of facts, I'm actually going to make a model, and you'll get to do this later too. So I'm going to use some Play-Doh to make the earth, and I want you to guess which layer I'm making. So this part is solid. It's made of lead. What do you think this one might be? Layer do you think this is? It is the core. What part of the core do you think it is? It is the inner core. Good. Okay, so we know that this is our inner core. It's in the middle of the earth. It's very solid. It spins at a different speed. So I'm going to make another layer. And I want you to think what this layer might be. This layer is going to go around our inner core. This layer is made of iron and nickel. It's a liquid. Surround it. What layer do you think this might be? It's not the mantle. If we have our inner core and then I put the next layer, what layer is that? Yes. Yes, it is the outer core. Very good. Okay, I'm going to do the next layer. And this layer has liquid flowing rocks. It's the cause of mountains, earthquakes, volcanic eruptions. It helps form land. It's the thickest layer of the earth. So let me put this over. And it actually should probably be a little bit thicker to match our earth here. What layer is this? Comes after the outer core. What layer is it? Yes, it is the mantle. Very good. Okay, which leaves our last layer. I'm gonna mix some blue and green to represent this layer. And this layer is the outer solid layer. It's the thinnest layer on Earth. It's where the oceans and the continents are. This is where life is. Blue represents the ocean, the green represents the land. Try to spread it out to represent how thin it is. Should we cover our mantle? Who knows what layer this is of the earth? Yes, it is the crust, and the green is the continents, and the blue are the oceans. Very good. So this is just a model of the earth. So now what we're going to do is we're going to explore this model and see if we can see the earth's layers. So I'm going to just kind of cut our earth here. Take a chunk of it. So it's not super proportional, but I'm going to point to one of the layers and I want you to tell me what you think it is. Okay, so what is this layer? Good, it is the crust. What is this middle layer right here? It's a core. Do you think it's the inner core or the outer core? You can use this to help you. Yes, it is the inner core. And then this is kind of hard to tell, but after the inner core, what would it be? Yes, it is the outer core. And finally, the last layer is the last layer that we have talked about. We haven't identified yet. Yes, it is the mantle. Very good. Put our earth back together. Okay. So, as I said before, we are going to take a quiz. Some of this stuff is a little bit harder than what we've learned about, but I want you to think about what we learned today, and if you know the answer, raise your hand, okay? Alright, the first question: what is the thickest layer of the earth? Yes. Yes, it is the mantle. Very good. Okay, the next question. Which layer is made up of major tectonic plates? Yes. It's not the mantle. Yes. Yes, it is the crust. It's made up of tectonic plates. Okay, number 3. What is between 7,200 and 900 degrees Fahrenheit? Which layer is that hot? Between 7,200 and 9,000 degrees Fahrenheit. What layer is that? Yes. Yes, good. It is the outer core. Okay, the next question, number 4. This layer was believed to have formed 500 million years ago. What layer is that? It was formed 500 million years ago. People believe this. Yes. It's not the crust. Yes. Yes, it is the inner core. Very good. Okay, number 5. This layer can be as thin as 3 miles thick. What layer might that be? 3 miles thick. Which layer? Yes. Good, it is the crust. And how did you know it was the crust? Because it said it's only 3 miles, and we know that the crust is very, very small compared to the other layers. Very good. This layer is liquid. What layer is liquid? And it's also made of nickel and iron. What layer is this? Yes. Yes, it is the outer core. Very good. Okay, so this one's kind of a fun fact. We didn't talk about this, but I want you to just think about what would make the most sense here, okay? So these 2 layers combined are about the size of Mars. What 2 layers combined might be the size of Mars? Yes. It's not the mantle and the outer core. Which 2 layers might be the size of Mars? Yes. It is the inner core and the outer core. Very good. Okay. Okay, the next layer. This layer is more liquid in the outer part and more solid in the inner part. What layer is this? Yes. Good. It is the mantle, which is right here. But just remember, it's more liquid on the outer part and more solid on the inner part of the mantle. Okay. This one, the only layer where water is found. It's the only layer where water is found. Think about where the oceans and the continents are. What's the ocean made of? Good, it is the crust. Awesome. In number 10, the last question, this layer is smaller than our moon. What layer do you think it is? Smaller than our moon. Yes. It's not the crust. And any other guesses? It's not the outer core. Any others? Yes, it is our inner core. It's smaller than our moon. Okay, so I want you to check your quiz, see how many you got correct, and then turn those in so I can grade them. And thank you for watching today. I hope you learned a lot of interesting facts about the Earth's layers. Good night.